Breaking news. Now, live from Wavy News 10.
Tom Shadd along with Stephanie Harris here in the newsroom. A verdict has just come in the Stephen Rankin trial.
Yes, this is the former Portsmouth police officer who is charged with murder. We just found out he has, the jury came back with voluntary manslaughter. They found him guilty of voluntary manslaughter.
And now we're going to give you a live picture here. We're inside the courtroom. We have Deanna LeBlanc standing by, who is monitoring the situation, and also Andy Fox is at the courthouse. We're working to get you a picture inside the courtroom, but we just got this verdict literally moments ago.
Yeah, the jury had been deliberating since Tuesday. They deliberated for about an hour on Tuesday, then all day yesterday, and they've been in there since about 9:15, 9:30 this morning. Let's go live right now into the courtroom.
Yes, where's what you want to make, and you want to wait till after we finish the second.
We'd like to wait till after.
Yeah. Do you have your instructions? Just want to talk to the board. Understand.
Yes, sir. Will the court give us a few minutes of recess to assemble our witnesses?
And before we go, give us the instructions. You have the instructions?
I'm sorry, I just look at them right now.
We have a lull here in the courtroom. We heard one of the attorneys talk about bringing the witnesses in, so we're still waiting to hear what that's about, Stephanie.
Right. The verdict was just read minutes ago. Guilty of voluntary manslaughter for former Portsmouth police officer Stephen Rankin, who was charged with murder in the shooting death of William Chapman at the Walmart on Frederick Boulevard in April of 2015. Now, we know that after the verdict is read, they will move into the sentencing phase. Perhaps that is what the attorney was referring to there when he asked for a little bit of time to get witnesses.
And we had a shot there at some of the audience there, and we had from behind, looking at one of the observers there, possibly Mrs. Chapman, who looked like to be overcome with emotion.
Yeah, we did hear someone crying there in the courtroom. A very emotional, obviously, day in the court. A very emotional trial. We know that his mother was there every day. We spoke with her, and our Andy Fox spoke with her a couple of days ago. He's out there waiting right now, as well as our Deanna LeBlanc, who's been covering this trial since it began just last week.
This jury made up of 8 African Americans and 4 white jurors, and they did come to this verdict after roughly 2 days of deliberations, because as you said, Stephanie, they spent part of Tuesday after electing a foreman, about 45 minutes or so deliberating then a full day of deliberations yesterday, and that verdict just coming in literally 5 minutes ago. Andy Fox is live along with Deanna LeBlanc. What do you guys have for us right now?
Here's the bottom line. Voluntary manslaughter. This is not what the Rankin team had hoped for. The thought was that it would be a hung jury. Voluntary manslaughter brings 0 to 10 years. It means basically that it involved mutual combat. So the jury found that he was guilty of voluntary manslaughter involved in mutual combat, killing committed after being provoked, which is pretty much the storyline of what happened on that day in the Walmart parking lot on April 22nd, 2015. My colleague Deanna LeBlanc has been in the courtroom the entire time, and we're now at 13 hours of the jury deliberations. Tell me what happened when the verdict came down.
You know, the jury entered, the courtroom was silent. Everyone appeared very calm because, of course, they go through the charge sheet from top to bottom. So you hear the first degree, you hear the second degree, you hear the not guilty, but then you hear the guilty of the voluntary manslaughter charge. And that is when Sally Chapman, William Chapman's mother, just fell into her own lap, just sobbing. Stephen Rankin and his wife remained very calm, still calm when I left the courtroom, but again, very emotional from William's mother. Everyone else and the judge had instructed, please stay calm, please have no outbursts. and that's what we saw.
Was there a sense that this would be the result, that the evidence wasn't there for first-degree murder? And especially with our online poll, it clearly showed that no one thought it was first-degree, but that it wasn't second-degree, that there was no premeditation, no malice, but there was something there.
Well, and I think when you look at the difference between first-degree murder and voluntary manslaughter, the premeditation is you're looking at a police officer, and with first degree, saying a police officer showed up that day with premeditated plans to kill someone, whereas voluntary manslaughter, the charge is more in the heat of passion, in the heat of a struggle, that this killing happened, and that is clearly what the jury decided.
And it took them a long time to get to that point, but that's clearly the facts show that what did indeed happen, and that came from many witnesses that were called to the stand.
Sure, we saw dozens of witnesses, but there were those 4 or 5 witnesses for the defense, those construction workers, but again, there were the 2 witnesses for the prosecution that said they did not believe that William Chapman moved forward. They said he took sort of a fighting stance, but he never charged. The word charge came up so many times throughout the trial, and the 2 Commonwealth witnesses said he did not charge at the police officer.
And that was the witness from the Walmart, the security person, who said that he took the fighting stance like that, but that he did not go like that, and that there weren't any footsteps towards him, but that he just took a posture like this.
And I can tell you, we've talked about security all week long here. As soon as I came out of the courtroom, I took the stairs down from the 3rd floor. So much security all of a sudden showed up inside that court. They've sort of been waiting in the wings, and now they are all in their positions, but so far, looking behind us, very calm outside the courtroom right now.
And of course, this case wasn't brought up, but the Yankin case, Kirill, in 2011, where he was shot 11 times by Stephen Rankin, but that did not come in. Did you happen to get a look at her? Because she thought that this was like her case to get vindication for finding him guilty, because he was found, not guilty in that case, and then also not responsible.
From my vantage point, I could not see Yelena Yankin, but I'm sure she'll be coming out. And for her, this is a second language going on in the courtroom. She's learning all of this information through an interpreter. So you can anticipate that her emotion might be a little bit more delayed than someone like Sally Chapman, who, and we need to understand, what does that mean? What does that crying that Sally was doing mean? Do we think she feels vindicated, or is she disappointed? And we'll find that out, I'm sure, in just a matter of minutes.
Well, we spoke to her earlier, and she said that she would be devastated if it were a hung jury. So obviously, she's pleased. You've covered this so excellently for Wavy TV 10. What do you think she's feeling right now, based on what you know about her conversations with her?
Sure. I mean, for the whole year, the family has said, we just want justice. They never said exactly what verdict they wanted. They said they've been waiting since April 22nd, 2015 for an answer for justice. I think if I were Sally Chapman right now, if I'm reading her body language correctly, she feels relief.
Okay, Deanna, thank you so much. Excellent work. Guys, that's the latest here from inside the Portsmouth Judicial Center. Guys, back to you.
All right, wrapping it up. Stephen Rankin, former Portsmouth police officer, guilty of voluntary manslaughter in the shooting death of William Chapman last April. This news just came down moments ago.
Yes, and of course, all the parties involved are still up in that courtroom. We are going to go back up into the courtroom, gather more information for you. We'll be back on here in just about 10 minutes at 4 o'clock. Join us then.